If we pick a point within the region, and let's just pick a point, say right about here, we can start from this point and sketch an approximate curve whose slope at every point is equal to the slope that we would get if we applied this rule. So if we start at this point, well, this point is pretty close to this point, so the slope is going to be pretty close to this. Now if we go up, the slope is increasing if we move up along the y direction. So we expect the slope to maybe be a little bit steeper than this, and also the slope is increasing as we move to the right. So maybe the slope at this point is something like this. Now if we were to continue along this line, we would get in trouble. By the time we're over here, our slope wouldn't be nearly great enough. We would just, if our slope is like this clearly doesn't fit with these slopes here, so it should be fairly clear that this curve is going to have to increase. The slope of the curve is going to have to increase somewhat as we move up to where it's almost equal to the slope of this segment here, and similarly as we move to the right, the slope is going to have to continue to increase in order to fit with the scheme given by our function, by the rule which specifies the slope at every point. Now after I get here, I'm going to be getting into some trouble because I didn't do a particularly good job of estimating a slope of 1.35 or 1.55. Both of these segments look to me to be a little too steep, and my 1.75 doesn't look like it's steep enough. However, we get the idea. Starting from any point, we should be able to sketch a curve, and we can also sketch the curve back this way. Now pretty soon that curve is going to pass through my number 0.45 here, so I'm not going to draw it in that direction, but I could. And I could start here with an appropriate slope, a slope somewhere between this and this, perhaps like so. And this should be curving upward, but again I'm going to get in trouble because I didn't draw this one quite right. It should be clear that I can get a number of curves. I can get an infinite number of curves. I can pick any point in this region and sketch a curve, and if I've sketched my slope field correctly, or if I'm calculating my slope point by point as I move along, excuse me, then I'm going to get curves that give us a good approximation to what we're going to call the solution curves for this equation.